Yes.
What my favorite chapter, I will tell you, is chapter 3. Why? Find your why. That's the name of the chapter.
Yes.
And it is in alignment with the work I do with business owners and founders. It's like, what is your North Star? Oftentimes they created the business, they're purpose driven, but articulating the why, why did you go out and, work these hours and put your, remortgage your house to build this business? Finding that chapter, find your why. And in your, probably the research you did with the over 100 interviews, you ideated this, but I'd love for you to share, because I think it's very important. Of all your chapters, this is for me. I think if I were an aspiring director, independent director, this would be the one that most resonates with me. Find your why. Tell me a bit more about that chapter, Keith.
And it did for me, Brenda, as well, for two reasons. One, because of the research that I uncovered and the qualitative interviews that I conducted. I found out that those that were successful at making that transition from being an executive or a high-powered government official to actually being a board member, they did find their why. And I also, in this chapter, this third chapter that I'm in, I became a managing partner and a practice leader of CEO and board services at a global executive search firm. And I would have meetings with many executives who will actually say, Keith, I want to serve on corporate boards. And I would ask them why, and they really couldn't answer. And I would ask them specific questions about what type of board, private or public. And they would say, Keith, I don't care. Just get me on a paid board. And that's not going to work, and it doesn't work. And so I dedicated a whole chapter to finding your why, because as aspiring board members or board members seeking their second or third board, and they kind of found their first board because someone tapped them on the shoulders and said, we want you, but they don't know how to replicate getting on their next board because no one's tapping them on their shoulders right now. I found that by getting people to reflect on number one, what brings them joy?
What brings them joy?
What brings them
Wow.
joy?